Okay. All right. Can you see my screen, Lily?
Yes, I can, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to be doing this worksheet just as a way to revise these parallel lines and properties of angles. So let's see. When we look at question 1 now, uh, there's really no limit to the methods that you can apply to get your answer. So you just do what comes to your mind first, isn't it?
Yes.
So personally, I prefer the F angles, and I also prefer the Z angles, which are the alternate angles. And together with that, I love the vertically opposite angles. So if you can master these three, then everything is fine. And of course, we can't forget the highway, isn't it? So
Yes.
that's it. So we'll be implementing these four rules where possible to get the answers. Okay. So for number 1A, we can clearly see that these are corresponding angles. These are F angles. So we have 112 there, and then this is going to be a 112 degrees as well. I think someone just joined. Hello, Sipo. Can you see my screen? Sipo.
Hello, sir.
Yes, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. We're simply revising this whole worksheet, and we're gonna make it fast. This is the last time we're doing these parallel lines, so pay attention. Okay,
Okay.
and then now we move on to number 1B. Again, this is gonna be very simple for us. We
Okay.
can
So I have a
clearly,
quick question.
yes, you can ask Sipo. All right, I think that's a bad
Sir,
one.
when is Stadler closing?
All right, I was talking to Michael, I think around next week. I think around next week.
Pardon, sir, you're breaking up a bit. I can't hear you.
Okay, Stadler is closing next week, but I'll talk to Michael about that, and he can give you the dates. It has to be next week or later this week.
Okay.
All right. So now when we look at part B, I'm sure you can
Sir,
clearly see.
I've lost connection and you're very buggy, but I think you said end of this week.
Yes, or next week. I'll contact you with more information, like the precise dates. Lily, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
All right. So maybe it might be Sifo's connection. Okay. So for part B, I'm sure you can see that this is a nice alternate angles. This is a nice shape here. So x is going to be 75. That's the fastest way to get x. But alternatively, I can decide to use f angles, right? So I'm going to use the f angles for flexibility's sake. So if we use f angles, which are vertical, which are corresponding angles, 75 is also found here, right? And then we can get x by using this guy, the vertically opposite angles, or the x angles. So x will also be 75. So you don't need to master everything. As long as you've mastered these three rules, everything will be fine. And now we'll move on to part C. We have 150 degrees there, and we can see it's forming uh, corresponding angles with y. It's kind of an f again. So the fastest way is to just say, okay, that's 150 degrees. But how are we going to find x? We can find x easily by considering the highway rule. So this is my highway, and the highway is not horizontal. So it's either we work on the left hand side or on the right hand side. So here we'll be working on the left hand side of the highway, right? So now that we're on the left hand side, then it means that x and 150 degrees must give us 180. So x plus 150 degrees equals 180. And then our x is going to be 30 degrees. Are we together, Lily? Any questions?
No, sir, I don't have any questions.
Okay, perfect. Now you're getting the hang of it. Let me just respond to Lisa a minute. I think she's trying to join. Okay. Hmm. Okay, that's perfect. Right, I think she should be joining soon. All right, let's move on to the next part. All right, number 1D. Lily, can you help me do this one? Lily, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how do we get x the fastest way?
Which question is it C or
It's D, number 1D.
oh it's D? I'm gonna say highway
All
and
right.
then gonna I'm gonna say highway and then I see that what's it 99 degrees and Z kind of look the same, so they probably might be the same value.
All right. So let's focus on that. If you look at this one, I'm highlighting 99 degrees and I'm highlighting your Z. They are not the same, but they
Oh,
actually add up to 180, isn't it? This one is
yes.
like more obtuse. It's greater than 90 degrees. This one is less than 90 degrees because our 90-degree line is here and our 90-degree line is here, isn't it?
Yes.
So you have to be careful whenever you're looking at that. So let's start with the easiest stuff. Let's look for x angles. We have x angles, and x is actually our x angle. X is going to be 99 degrees. Why? They're vertically opposite. They look exactly the same, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's fine. And then what else can we do? We need to find y, and y is corresponding to that green 99. Y is corresponding because they're forming some kind of an F.
Oh.
So this guy and this guy are at corresponding points. They look exactly identical. So 99 degrees. And then we can find our Z using our highway method. So let's make a black highway. The highway is going up so that nothing on the left hand side will cross to the right. So we're working on the right hand side, isn't it? So these two guys must give you what? 180.
180.
Yes. So obviously this has to be 81. Z has to be 81 degrees. Okay. Now we move on. Sipo, are you in a position to speak? Can you help me find part E?
For E,
Yes. We just need to use the fastest method as possible. And then, yeah, that will be it. So E might seem tricky, but you don't need to find the marked angles. You can find any other angle before you reach your destination, isn't it?
mm-hmm.
All right. So,
So
what's the first angle you want us to find?
um, maybe X.
You want us to find X, but how can we find it? We can't find this one directly. We have to find other angles. I'm going to mark the other angles with numbers that will help you find whatever you want. So what's the easiest angle to find here? You can refer to the numbers. Okay, I'm found.
On
Yeah,
we're on E, right?
yes.
Hello.
Yes, we're on E.
Also, sorry, it's saying that Lisa's trying to join the call.
All right, let me just, okay, yeah, admin. Okay, I thought it was going to be automatic, but anyway, it's fine. Uh, I think she's in now. Oh, thank you for that, Sipo. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, sir.
All right, perfect. We're just revising this worksheet and we're doing it together. This is the last time we'll be doing the parallel lines. So sometimes I will be doing the questions uh, for you, and other times I might need you to contribute. Sipo is going to be helping us to do number E, number 1E. So Sipo, which other angle can we find easily? If we're using 74 degrees.
Sir,
Yeah.
I'm not understanding what you're saying, sir.
Okay. So what I'm saying is you can't find the marked angles directly. There is an intermediate, or there are intermediate angles that you need to find. Because if you look at these guys, we don't have any direct relationship between 74 and X or 74 and Y, right? But what you can do, you can find an alternative path so that you get closer to X. For example, what I'm going to do in this case, I will use the Z angles or the alternate angles. I know that if I use the alternate angles, we have 74 there. I know this guy is going to be 74. It's not what we want, it's not asked for, but we have to find it so that we can get what we want, isn't it? So we have 74 and we have what? X. Now that we have 74, which is closer to X, we can go ahead and use our highway rule. Are we together, Sipo? Did you understand now? Sipo, you still there? Okay, I think it might be or bad connection is rejoining. So now I want us to use the highway rule on this one. So we have our green highway, and now we're focusing on the left hand side, isn't it? So everything on the left must give us 180. Now, how can we find X, Lisa? How can we find x, Lisa? If we're using the highway rule. Okay, Lily.
Hi, sir.
All right. How can we find x?
If we're using the highway rule, right?
Yes. And we're
Okay.
working on the left-hand side of the highway.
On the left-hand side of the highway. Um, I'm trying to see if would we say 74 minus 180?
Yes, it's actually the other way around. 180 minus 74, right?
74, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. And then can you quickly punch that in and tell us the answer?
Okay. Is 106.
Okay. So x is 106, isn't it? And I want
Yeah.
you to understand that our intention was to find x, but there was no direct way of doing it. So we had to find all other alternative angles, isn't it? So that's it. So first things first is the approach that we're going to take. Now, how can we find y? Anyone to tell us how we can find y? At least now we're closer to y. We don't need to rely on that 74, the original blue 74.
Is there not like an F angle by 106 and Y?
Excellent work. So this y is also going to be what?
106.
Yes, because we have an what, I don't know, inverted f angle like that. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now let's move on to the next part. Lisa, are you in a position to speak? All right, I think bad connection. Simple, are you back? Simple. All right, now we'll move on to the next one. All right. So, in most cases, you don't really need to focus on what you need to find. Just find what's easiest for you, and then your answer will be easier to find. Okay, so here we can see that there's a clear F angle here, 123 and X, this guy and that guy. So X is going to be 123. And then one mistake you can make is to try to use your parallel lines there and there. These guys are not parallel. These are not parallel lines, so you can't use your rules there. Okay. So now we move on to the right-hand side, to this transversal line. Let me just put a clear division. So you need to work with the left-hand side on its own, and you need to work on the right-hand side. Now, when we look at the right-hand side now, I want us to stick to the F's, but here we can't see a proper F. The best method would be actually to use the co-interior angles, but I don't want to overwhelm you. So let's stick to the F's. So here we can see that we have an inverted F angle, and 110 is actually the same as this guy, not Y. Are we together? 110 is the same as this guy and not Y. So now what are we going to do? We're going to find Y by using the highway rule. So 110 plus Y equals 180. So y equals 180 minus 110. And then y equals what? It's a 90 or 70 degrees. Do we understand what I just did?
So does that mean so there's like a also if angle on the right hand side?
Yes, there's an F angle.
Okay.
And that's it. So normally whenever you have a transversal line, there's always an F angle, there's always a Z angle, there's always a C angle. So if you wanted to do it like directly without using an F angle, we have these C angles, co-interior. They're inside the parallel lines, right? They're forming some kind of a C. And they add up to 180. So y plus 110 must give you 180, and then you get your answer again.
Okay, I understand now.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. All right. So for number 2, which angle is corresponding to C? Corresponding means F angles, right? They're at identical positions. So which angle is corresponding to C? So the answer here is G. Which angle is alternate to D? Alternate means Z. Corresponding means F, isn't it? Alternate to D, we have our D there, and we have our F. They are forming a Z angle. So F is alternate to D. Which angle is corresponding to H? Remember I said corresponding is F angles. So if we have H there, the corresponding guy will be D. Which angle is vertically opposite to A? Vertically opposite means X. So C is vertically opposite to A. Which angle is alternate to E? That's a Z, inverted Z. C is also um, alternate to E. This is the Z I'm highlighting. We have E that side and we have C that side. They're forming a Z angle. All right. And then we move on. Which angle is co-interior with C? Co-interior means C angles. They're together inside, right, between the parallel lines. So we have C and F. C and F are co-interior. Let me show that. We have that guy. They're forming a C. C and F are co-interior, together inside our parallel lines. Which angle is vertically opposite to H? So vertically opposite angles are X angles. So if we're focusing on H, using this purple color, H is vertically opposite to F. Which angle is co-interior to E? Co-interior simply means together inside. So we're focusing on E, the co-interior, they're forming some kind of a C angle. E and D are co-interior. They're facing the left-hand side. Which angle is corresponding to A? Corresponding means F angles. So A and E are corresponding. Which angle is vertically opposite to G? E is vertically opposite to G. All right. I don't know if you have any questions. I'm going to take this time to pause. Lisa, any questions? Lisa, do you have any questions? Okay, it might be a bad connection. Um, Lily, do you have any questions?
No, sir. But if we like, I can refer to like the worksheet that was printed out last time, where they showed us like which angles are like angles.
Yes. Which angles are alternate and stuff?
Yes, yes, the one
Yeah,
that we did. Yeah.
you can refer to that as well. But the whole point, the reason why we're constantly revising this is that for now you can be using your worksheets for reference, but later on,
Okay.
everything must be in your head.
Okay.
All right. Now let's move on to this part. We need to find the value of x for each of the questions. So this is creating some kind of an equation, isn't it? So we just need to find the marked angles. So here, x is 125 because they are f angles, right? They are corresponding. That's the f, the upside down f there. And then we'll move on. For part B, x is 57 because they are forming a z angle. For C, x is what, Lily? Lily, can you tell me the value of x?
X is 70, sir,
Good. And why?
because
Must
they are what's it? Vertically opposite angles.
Yes, that's it. Um, okay, and
Wait,
then I'm gonna do D
well, would we say 180 minus 70, and that's the value for F?
for F on
Yes.
part C.
Yes.
Yes, if we want to find this, it will be 100 and what? 110. You will be
Okay.
using the highway rule. Any highway you want. Do you want the horizontal highway or the vertical one?
The vertical highway, sir.
Yes. So you'll be using this highway and you'll be working on the left-hand side of the highway.
Okay.
All right. So that's it. Now we move on to part D. Here, the direct way to find x is to use C angles, core interior. They add up to 180, isn't it? So let's use the core interior angles here. They're forming a C. They should add up to 180. So we have 105. This becomes 75. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
But if you don't like the idea of core interior angles, you can use F angles. You get your 105 here and you use your highway rule to find the x. Yeah. And then here, I think we should just use the Z angles. They're easy to identify. If we use Z angles, we're going to get 53 as that guy. And then we use our highway rule to get X. Are we together? So X plus 53 equals 180. X equals 180 minus 53. I think it's going to be 127. So X will be 127. And then for this guy, we can use our F angles. This F facing that other side, 133. This will give us 133 here. And then our X is going to be that guy we add to 133 to get 180. So X will be what? 47. And we are done. All right. Let's see. Let's move on. Okay. So we have number 4, and I'm gonna let your number 4, this number 4, be like your test. So this is your test. You have to find all the angles. So after watching the video, after this lesson, just do this test. And next time, we'll start a new topic. So number 4 is your test.
Okay, sir.
And yeah, but what you need to understand here on number 4, these tiny markings means that these sides are equal, isn't it? And if these sides are equal, it's an isosceles what? Triangle. And you have to know the properties of an isosceles triangle to find all the required angles. But anyways, that's fine. So I want you to do that test. So there again on number D, you have an isosceles okay, triangle. And then you have to find all those marked angles. So I don't want you to find only the marked angles, like the labeled angles, like find the missing angle X and Y. I want you to find all the angles that you can, isn't it?
Okay, sir.
So for this one, as an example, you're not just finding X, you're finding this guy, you're finding this guy, you're finding this guy, you're finding this guy, you're finding everything that you can, just to practice. And that will be it. 1 mark per angle. All right. I'm gonna save this file, save as. mm, and then I'll send it to the group. Desktop Mikhail. Okay, it's fine. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Lisa,
Thank you, sir.
Lisa, I don't know if you have any questions. Lisa has been quiet. If you have any questions, Lisa, just message me, and yeah, I'll attend to you. All right. Bye for now.
Ba-na-ma-na-na-na-na.